What drives you to join the pageant?
Well, my Lola, Josie, she always said to me when I was a little girl that I go to Miss Universe. Like that was her dream for me. And that was an affirmation that she made fervently all the time, telling me that I would do this. And she wanted me so much to go to the Philippines to represent and enter Miss Universe on that end. And my Tita Luz would have been my manager. They wanted me to be actor and all these different things, but I've never been to the Philippines. So to me, to represent a place that I never grew up in just didn't feel right. Like Cayman has always been my home, and education is a major part of my upbringing. So I had to get my university degree before I pursued anything, even though this has been a lifelong dream of mine. And I have so much passion for people. Growing up, I always wanted to do something that would involve giving back or helping and assisting others. And I think that this is the ultimate platform to do that, as I'm able to amplify my voice and utilize this as a way to connect with more people and reach a wider community on a whole.
Hello everyone, this is Pastor Maria.
I'm Pastor Ju.
And we are here in Pusong Pinoy, Buhay Cayman. With the ongoing pageant throughout the island, we are privileged to have an interview with one of the contestants, and who is dear to us, Filipino Cayman. She's the daughter of well-known person in Filipino community, Mr. Shelby Carlos. And she is Kimberly Ashley Carlos. Kimberly is a certified practitioner in the trust and corporate sector, a leader of the Duke of Edinburgh Awards program, Cayman Connection, United Kingdom, Youth Ambassador, a Junior Achievement winner, and a Red Cross Volunteer of the Year. And this morning, we are privileged to have him on our program.
Hi, Kimberly.
Let
How
us
are
welcome Kimberly Ashley Carlos.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me this morning. It is an honor and a privilege. And I was saying to Pastor Maria earlier, I have never been more proud and grateful to be half Filipina than I am today. And throughout this whole pageant, I really have seen the sense of community and love and passion that the Filipino people bring at all stages.
Wow.
Whether
Yes,
that's volleyball or you just support my dad and his businesses, and now me going through this pageant. So I am eternally grateful. I'm so gracious, so gratefully happy to be here and excited.
Wow. Yes, indeed. Yes, Kimberly, you're the first ever Filipino Caymanian born who applied for a Miss Cayman Universe, right? So we are actually proud of you. A lot of Filipinos are waiting for that event. And I know that you will plug that event later on, the sashing. You are here now in front of us, and I know that you will give answers to some of our questions.
Absolutely, fire away.
Yeah. What drives you to join the pageant?
Well, my Lola, Josie, who is another well-known Filipino in the community, she always said to me when I was a little girl that I go to Miss Universe. Like that was her dream for me. And that was an affirmation that she made fervently all the time, telling me that I would do this. And she wanted me so much to go to the Philippines to represent and enter Miss Universe on that end. And my Tita Luz would have been my manager. They wanted me to be actor and all these different things, but I've never been to the Philippines. So to me, to represent a place that I never grew up in just didn't feel right. Like Cayman has always been my home, and education is a major part of my upbringing. So I had to get my university degree before I pursued anything, even though this has been a lifelong dream of mine. And I have so much passion for people. Growing up, I always wanted to do something that would involve giving back or helping and assisting others. And I think that this is the ultimate platform to do that, as I'm able to amplify my voice and utilize this as a way to connect with more people and reach a wider community on a whole.
So you're being influenced greatly by your Lola, your grandma.
Yeah, all the time. Even in what I'm wearing, my Lola, she said, Kibi, you wear that. That looks nice. Maganda.
Yeah, most of the Lolas like that, truly. So you have mentioned they are your inspiration, right? Your Lola Josie, yeah, is your inspiration. So what are the preparations you have made for this pageant?
So I think because I had this mindset growing up that I would be a part of pageantry or I would one day go to Miss Universe, I actually took up a lot of hobbies that I think have shaped me to be prepared for this, such as being a part of radio. So when I was in high school, I actually was the longest standing radio host for a young people's program called Youth Flex. I hosted that for about 2 years, and I was a part of it for about 4 years. So that really helped in terms of being able to engage with others, have that conversation where it's naturally flowing. I remember when I would go on to set, and they would give me a script of questions and I would always deviate from it because for me, having an interview is about actually knowing that person and having that natural flow of conversation where you're really getting them to express who they are. And I appreciated that so much about radio because for me, it's something that I naturally enjoy doing. I love meeting people. I love speaking to them and understanding what they're going through. So I think that helped a lot in my preparation. Funny story, I didn't think I was able to be a part of this because of where I was in my life. I have a career right now. I just got my STEP certification. I have an apartment being built. Like there's just so many various factors and I wasn't sure if this was the right time, but this was God's time. And I realized that there was a calling and I have a purpose to fulfill. And when God opens those doors, you have to walk right through it. And I knew that He was giving me all the lessons along the way and He was grooming me to use me as a vessel. So I'm here and I think that I will continue to learn and grow, but I've made some critical steps in just developing myself, doing leadership programs and being a part of voluntary services that are helping me now.
It's so inspiring because kids nowadays, my daughter also was so inspired with those bloggers, video bloggers, you know. And as she grows up, she loved to talk to to the camera or to the cell phone, where he will record herself. So it's really amazing because joining the pageantry with have confidence in talking to in front of the people. Gives you a leverage, so advantage. So thanks for that sharing.
I 100% encourage young people to do this, not just for the aspiration that, you're going to be a beauty queen. This is for every and anybody because it has helped me throughout university. It's helped me in my working career and just that ability to have confidence in speaking to strangers at the spur of a moment. And having the ability to adapt to certain situations, it teaches you a lot of life skills that you can carry through with you.
Well, I like what you said a while ago that you finish first your what you need to finish first, like finishing your course or your degree, and that helps because there's a lot of girls, when they turn into that age, they just want to be popular, they just want to go to engage on those things. But I like your style that you. Let me finish first my business and then go with this dream that your Lola and you want to
it's true, and
inspiration to many girls listening right now, right? In our interview right now.
Yeah, because education is forever, and once you have that, nobody can take it away from you. And that in itself is extremely empowering, and knowledge is power. So constantly encourage yourself to just learn more, and there's so much in this world to gain from.
Right.
So I always want to encourage people to just don't limit yourself. Whatever subject you may be interested in, even if it's something that you may not find naturally easy, just go for it. You never know. There's some interest that may be a part of it. And even if it's not available to you, there are resources there online. So just to give an example, I found human behavior fascinating and personalities and the variety of people and their uniqueness so interesting that I actually self-studied psychology when I was in A-levels. And it was something that I wanted to pursue because I had that natural inclination towards learning about the human mind, how we act and what makes us tick. And I took that up as an A-level subject, and then I studied it in university. So you never know, as long as you just go with what is exciting for you or whatever sparks your interest, just go for it.
What you mentioned a while ago is about your calling or your passion. You know, this is very important because those opportunities that comes, sometimes they just come knocking once. So so you need to dive on it, or else those opportunities will just go away.
Be gone.
Gone. Yeah. So you cannot undo it. Just like unlike the computer, you could undo it.
Yeah, but, you can restart.
You could restart. So just like us, of course, the calling that God has given us is to do the ministry, and we go for it, or else you will just be wasting your time.
I know you have mentioned already your platform, but can you make it clear of your platform as a Miss Cayman Island Universe contestant?
So the Miss Cayman Islands Universe contestants, we all have chosen the Alex Canton Foundation, which specializes in advocating for mental health and breaking the stigma that people may have on the island. It's a very taboo subject. So a lot of times people don't really want to address or talk about issues that they may be suffering from, such as depression or anxiety. And these are things that are so critical to pinpoint and actually target, because if you do not deal with them and you ignore whatever feelings that you may be experiencing, that in itself will manifest and it will become a much greater problem that could end up being suicide, for an example, which is the extreme end of it. And if we can work with young people in shaping their mindset and having that support group as a community, then hopefully we are inspiring and changing lives of everybody so that they don't think that their only way out is through taking their own life.
The other thing is with this COVID-19 that happened last year, even now, right? The increase in the patients on mental health.
Absolutely. Prescription medication has gone up. It's hard, and it's something that I feel like a lot of people aren't comfortable talking about because we're taught to be strong and not let our emotions control us. But at the end of the day, but you're human. You have to talk about these things because other people are going through it too. And once you realize that it's okay not to be okay, then you can figure out what steps do I need to take to get where I need to be. And one thing that I learned with psychology is one size does not fit all. And you may have very specific definitions of certain personality disorders or ailments, but you can also be experiencing something completely foreign that is off that spectrum and still be needing help, maybe not on a clinical basis, but just through support, mentorship, and counseling through your peers and family.
The challenge of that actually is to identify who's who, right? Because people just pretend that they're happy, just like what you said. And they just, I'm fine. They just joke around, they just laughing and laughing. But at the end of the day,
no one knows what's in the inside.
Nobody. No one knows. So I think that's a good thing that we have to educate people. That is, it's real.
And you said it's okay not to be okay, and that people know
it is.
Your feelings.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Yeah, and to those parents, please listen to your child or your children. If they're saying something, don't shut up. Sometimes we shut them off, right? But please listen to your children, and that's a good thing. Going back to our,
sometimes. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say, I think sometimes with parents, because of the age gap and the changes in society, they don't realize the pressures that young people go through. In high school, you have so much, and even in the middle schools, between the kids, there's so much exposure through social media, and they're very cliquish. So certain kids will discriminate against other children because, they don't have the latest school bag or the coolest shoes, or they may not have the best, or the gadget or something like that. And all of those things can affect the children. It may not be on the same level as an adult because their mindset is different, but children still experience stress just in their own way.
Yeah, it's very important because the generation that they're living in,
it's changing.
It's really happening. And That's why we're so cautious also with our kids. We are not actually in their generation, and that we want to impose what we want to expect from them, and that's what happened.
I know it's really hard because that my daughter is a Miss International cover girl with World Imperial Beauty, and it's really hard. What is the routine of Miss Kimberly Carlos every day now?
So before I go to sleep, I make sure I set what I'm going to wear for the next day. Usually I do that on the weekend. So I try to plan all my outfits in advance. I iron them. I organize whatever accessories that I'm going to wear. If that's my handbags, my shoes, I put them aside so that week I only have those clothes to focus on. And then I will have a few changes of outfits in case an event changes or pops up. And so that's the night. Or the weekend before. And what I normally do to try to de-stress and kind of bring a sense of calm to myself is I put my phone away and I give myself an hour to just prepare for the night. So I take a nice shower. I like aromatherapy. So I always use like a lavender, a chamomile sort of body wash. And that really helps to relax me. And then I do, of course, my lotions and my face creams, and I put my hair in a bonnet or whatever it is. And I wake up usually it depends how my morning is. So I'll wake up at either 5:30 or 6:30. I will prepare, get my makeup done, and I'll drink a protein shake while I'm doing that. So I'm multitasking. And then usually while I'm getting ready, I'm either listening to a TED Talk or I'm like thinking of things that I need to do. So I have a mental preparation of to-do list. And as I go into work, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. Or I just remind myself of the various events, and I make sure that in advance I get all the details. So this morning I actually had a breakfast seminar at KPMG for 100 women in finance. So the night before, I made sure to look up the details, just to double check. I knew the location, I knew the time, I knew the dress code, certain things like that, very basic information, but to ensure that I'm prepared so that when I go, I'm ready. I don't have anything that gets in my way. And I take the day as it comes because every day is different.
That's true. That's true. So, anybody backing you up as a sponsor?
Yes, so I am extremely happy and proud to say that Kirk Freeport is my sponsor.
Wow! Woo!
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, I actually used to wrap Christmas presents when I was much younger for them. So I had a table when I was about 15 years old, and every Christmas, all the gifts, everybody buying perfume and jewelry, I would wrap that. And then during summer, I would work in the reception office. And even my mom worked for them too. So there's a bit of a history there.
I only saw you once when you were small. I mean, when you were a little girl like that, and I already said she's so beautiful. But your dad is actually handsome.
Oh yeah, he's so poky.
When I saw you in a restaurant, I said, that's her daughter. But you were just teenager at the time. So I was when I saw you right now, wow, she's really looked like an actress in the Philippines.
That is another dream of my Lola and Tita Luz. They always want me to be Miss Universe, and then after Miss Universe, actor. They planned my life for me.
Yeah, and you will be. As long as we're alive, we can dream, and I know that we will support you all the way through. Actually, we're planning already to go on that September 11, right? Is the Miss
Yes,
Universe.
that's
we will
correct.
be there to support you. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Kimberly, what is your message for those ladies who wants to join the pageant someday?
My message to them would be to really look at who you are as a person, understand yourself, take the time to know what you represent, what your passions are, what your interests are, so that whenever you are encouraged to go forward and any pursuit that you may have in life, that you are actually being your most authentic self, and that at all times you are aware and mindful of whatever actions or behaviors make you happy, make you sad, so that you can have a more holistic approach to anything that you may want to tackle, so that the life that you live is as fulfilling as you want it to be. So the three major events that are coming up for the Miss Cayman Islands Universe contestants are this Saturday. We've got the sashing event at the wharf that starts at 6 p.m. and that's where all the girls will receive their sash with their sponsors, and they'll be wearing a beautiful gown and they'll be dressed up. It's like a prequel to what to expect on the night of the pageant. And then on the 4th of September, we have our motorcade, which is where all the girls will get on a Jeep and drive the island and just, have a great time showing love for their supporters. So if anybody wants to come out, I know the Filipino community like to drive their nice cars. So if they want to come, blow their horns, whatever it may be, they're welcome to do that. I would love to have that support. And then the pageant night is the 11th of September, which is very monumental, just on a scope of history in terms of 9/11 and Hurricane Ivan. But it's good to know that we are having this date for a purpose of positivity. We're showcasing that history is going to be made, but in a good way. And hopefully I'm a part of that change. So praying for the best, but I'm so grateful for everything and I can't express it enough. I'm blessed beyond measure and I'm so thankful.
Is there any last word last message that you want to?
Yes, I want to say thank you to my mom, my dad, my Tita Precious, my Lola. I have a long list. Honestly, I could have a script. I just want to say thank you so much to all of my family. I have such strong women, all my aunts. They have been incredible forces of molding me as I grow up. And even as I continue to develop into a young adult, I'm grateful for them, all the mentors in my life, the many teachers that have helped me and believed in me, as well as my friends who are also major supporters, my employer, and of course, the Miss Cayman Islands Universe Committee, who work incredibly hard for the young ladies to give them the best opportunity, as well as the corporate sponsors. And last but not least, my sponsor, Kirk Freeport, with whom without any of their help and support, I would not be here today. So I'm so thankful and appreciate the journey that is coming my way. And I hope and pray that I'm doing everybody a service and that I can be used to help the wider community.
We're so proud of you, Miss Kim.
Yes.
And I know that you will, this is just a start. You will, like what your grandma says, you will be a star in the Philippines.
Maybe one day.
So, mga kababayan, let's support our very own Kimberly Carlos. We're vying for Miss Universe Cayman Islands. And I know and I believe that God has set this time. This is the moment. This is the time. All the best, Miss Kim. And also, we are really in Pusong Pinoy. We are really wants to interview those Filipinos who are shining, who are on the top, no? And if you have like events or you're excelling in some areas, let us know. And we will love to interview you just like Kim here. Good evening. God bless you all. Have a nice day.
Bye. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Yes.